Right at the start of this video, I'm going to tell you about scenes that will completely flip your imagination upside down. Full body massages with myrrh and aloe oil inside Solomon's temple. Luxury woven into hair with gold threads. And complex rituals deep within the palace that only began when night fell. Exotic perfumes, hypnotic dances, sacred baths in rare essential oils, and jewelry carefully selected to seduce the king. The competition between these women went far beyond simple carnal pleasure. Today, you will discover how the largest harem in history operated, what daily life in the temple was really like, and at the very end, we will unveil a darker mystery. What if there is another side to the story? What if the legend of the supernatural creatures controlled by King Solomon with a ring is true? Make sure to watch until the end, because this revelation might change everything you know. Right now, imagine yourself being transported back to the year 957 BC. The sun, rising over Jerusalem, reveals a sight that would make any visitor hold their breath. A colossal structure towering over Mount Moriah, its walls covered in pure gold, reflecting the dawn light like a divine beacon. Solomon's temple was not just a building, it was a declaration of absolute power and devotion, consuming resources equivalent to billions of dollars today. Over 180,000 workers toiled tirelessly for 7 years to erect this miracle. Picture the scene. Endless caravans of cedar of Lebanon, the noblest wood of that era, flowing constantly into Jerusalem. Phoenician artisans, the most skilled masters of the ancient world, carving every detail with superhuman precision. The sound of hammers and chisels echoing day and night, while giant stone blocks, as large as modern houses, were moved using engineering techniques that still baffle experts today. The temple's dimensions challenged the imagination. The main sanctuary alone was 30 meters long, 10 wide, and 15 high. Walls covered from floor to ceiling in gold. Your eyes wouldn't find a single spot without the gleam of precious metal. Huge cherubim, carved from olive wood and overlaid with gold, spread their wings to guard the Holy of Holies, creating an atmosphere of mystery and reverence. The priest's courtyard was paved with rare stones, each telling a different story from a distant land. 2 monumental pillars, known as Jachin and Boaz, marked the entrance to the temple. But it wasn't just an empty shell. To keep this impressive structure running, Solomon established a revolutionary administrative system. 24 divisions of priests worked in shifts, ensuring that divine service never ceased. And beneath all this sacred surface, we will dive deep into how Solomon used supernatural powers to control demons, the secret rituals of his 1,000 wives and palace knights, and the mysterious customs that took place far from the eyes of the common people. If you believe that God still does great things in your life, write in the comments right now, "The temple of God is within me." At dawn, long before the sun touched the golden walls of the temple, a symphony of sounds began to echo through the sacred corridors. The loud sound of bronze gates opening marked the start of another day of intense activity. The Levites began their tasks with near military precision. The primary task was cleaning, a ritual as sacred as the offerings themselves. Hundreds of servants moved in perfect synchronization, some carrying water in golden jars, others sweeping the courtyards with specialized brooms. The marble floors were washed so carefully it was said you could clearly see your own reflection in them. And that is just the prelude. Now, prepare yourself, because we are going to unveil the secrets of the largest harem in ancient history, a place full of stories few dare to tell, stories of power, seduction, and consequences that echo to this day. Imagine a palace so vast it could house 1,000 women, each with her own room, servants, and rituals. Solomon's harem wasn't just a place of pleasure. It was a center of political power that determined the fate of the entire nation. 700 royal wives and 300 concubines, each representing a strategic alliance with a distant kingdom. The pharaoh's daughter occupied the most prominent position, residing in a palace built specifically for her, decorated with hieroglyphs and furnished with the finest Egyptian treasures. Her entourage included hundreds of servants, musicians, and dancers from the Nile. You should know that her clothes were made of extremely fine linen. Legend has it that the fabric was as transparent as water when worn, leaving the skin faintly visible. The princesses of Moab brought knowledge of exotic perfumes, while Sidonian women were famous for their skill in weaving royal purple. Each cultural group maintained its own traditions, creating a multicultural environment unique in the ancient world. In this harem, which was like a miniature city, the royal wives lived in luxurious pavilions on the upper levels, overlooking fragrant gardens. The concubines occupied the lower floors, still luxurious, but less grand. Next, we reveal the most intimate mysteries of Solomon's palace, where every night was a unique celebration of love and beauty. The preparation ritual for a night with the king began at dawn. When the chosen one was quietly announced by a special messenger, a complex process lasting the entire day began. First, she was taken to the House of Purification, a building dedicated exclusively to beauty rituals. There, she had to bathe in 7 different pools, each scented with specific oils: myrrh, aloes, cassia, and cinnamon. Her personal servants, usually 7 in number, would attend to every detail. Hair was washed with aromatic oils and combed with ivory combs encrusted with gems. Skin was treated with a secret mixture of honey, goat's milk, and essential oils, a recipe passed down through generations of harem guardians. Nails were painted with henna, forming intricate patterns that told stories of love through ancient symbols. The night's attire was chosen with extreme care, fabrics so fine they looked like they were woven by spiders, dyed in rare colors extracted from seashells and precious minerals. Jewelry was selected not just for its beauty, but for its symbolism and power of seduction. The royal chamber was prepared with equal attention to detail. Gold censers constantly burned special incense blends, creating an intoxicating atmosphere. Flower petals were scattered on silk sheets, and oil lamps were strategically placed to create alluring lighting. Musicians skilled in love songs took their places in adjacent rooms, playing soft melodies inspired by the Song of Songs itself, notes flowing like honey to create an air of romance and mystery. The chosen one was then guided by experienced elders in the art of love, who shared secrets passed down for generations. Every gesture, every word, every movement carefully rehearsed to create a unique and unforgettable experience. If this message touched your heart, show your faith by commenting, "God's love is greater." Make sure to hold on tight, because what comes next will shock you. You are about to discover how Solomon used supernatural powers to control demons. In the heart of Jerusalem, the Song of Songs echoed through the palace corridors. A love poem so powerful, it became part of the Holy Scriptures. The women of the harem came from different cultures, and each brought her own traditions of seduction. Egyptians were masters of belly dancing, moving like serpents to the sound of golden sistrums. Phoenicians knew secrets of perfumes that could captivate the senses, and Moabite women were famous for their heart-melting love songs. The palace contained secret gardens where fountains bubbled between pomegranate trees and grapevines, and the women learned from one another, sharing ancestral knowledge about aromatic herbs, dance moves, and the art of seductive conversation. Never in history has a court seen such fierce competition for the love of one man. In this massive harem, every woman developed her own strategy to catch the king's attention. Some stood out for their wisdom, actively participating in discussions about governance and philosophy. Others cultivated unique artistic talents, composing poetry, creating exclusive perfumes, or developing hypnotic dances. The competition was subtle but intense. Alliances were formed between women of different origins, and servants became essential pawns in this royal chess game, passing secret messages and observing movements in the corridors. A whisper at the right moment could change the fate of a favorite. Gifts were constantly exchanged, each with hidden meanings. A cup of special wine, a poem written on scented papyrus, jewelry with mystical symbols. Everything was part of a secret language of power and seduction. The shrewdest women understood that true power came from knowledge. They studied the king's preferences, his worries about the kingdom, his moods, and his schedule. To claim victory today and change your life, write in the comments right now, Amen. I deserve the victory of Jesus. But you are about to discover something about Solomon's children that will reveal how Israel's greatest kingdom began to fall. Although he had 1,000 women, the biblical record only mentions one son of Solomon, Rehoboam. Yet historians believe dozens of other princes and princesses were born in the royal harem. Every birth was a political event. Gradually, Solomon's palace became a religious melting pot. Each foreign wife brought not only her beauty, but also her gods. The pharaoh's daughter worshipped Isis and Osiris in rooms decorated with hieroglyphs. The Sidonians burned incense to Astarte on secret altars. Moabite women celebrated rituals to Chemosh under the moonlight. Initially, Solomon allowed this worship as a diplomatic concession, but gradually, seduced by the love of his wives and his intellectual curiosity, he began to participate in these rituals. He built altars to foreign gods on the hills surrounding Jerusalem, each one more elaborate than the last. The impact was devastating. The people, seeing their king worship other gods, began to question their own faith. Priests and prophets warned of God's wrath, but their voices were drowned out by pagan drums and the laughter of the harem. The sacred incense was now mixed with the exotic aromas of pagan rituals. Sustaining 1,000 women was not just a matter of the heart, it was a massive financial burden. Each royal wife demanded a standard of living befitting her status. Servants, jewelry, fine clothes, exotic food. The royal treasury, once overflowing with wealth, began to show signs of depletion. The tax system had to be increased to maintain the court's lifestyle, and the people, once proud of their wise king, began to complain about rising taxes. And behind all of this, there is an even more mysterious legend. Ancient texts speak of the Ring of Solomon, a magical artifact inscribed with the divine name. It is said that with this ring, he could command spirits and demons, using them to build the temple and his palace. Every massive stone, every giant cedar beam was said to be moved by supernatural forces under his command. According to these legends, demons themselves were forced to serve in Solomon's court, some acting as messengers, crossing vast distances in seconds, others revealing secrets of nature, teaching the healing properties of plants and minerals. It is said that the Testament of Solomon, an ancient text, records the interrogation of demons, learning their names, powers, and weaknesses. But even with all these supernatural powers, Solomon remained humble before God. He understood that his dominion over spiritual forces came only from the Most High, and used this knowledge to glorify the Creator. If you believe in the supernatural power of God, comment, "God's power is greater." Like this video now and declare, "My faith in God is unshakable." Click the video appearing on the screen to discover more mysteries behind the ancient walls of Jericho.